Okay, greetings and welcome, family, to Magnets, Crystals, Pyramids. I am your host, Brother Ankh Rising Sun, also known as Uncle Ankh. We're having a special show tonight, and this show is going to be called Elections Forecast. But before we begin this show, I want to do an invocation so that the presenters tonight, the honorary world famous Lloyd Strayhorn, and also our mystical high priestess, Mama Ella. So before they come on the show, I want to say in the invocation, I am in me, I am in you. To all my brothers and sisters listening to the show, thank you for being born. Thank you for being alive. Thank you for surviving the airport adolescence of youth. With that being said, take hold of your crystal, take hold of your cup of water, which is liquid crystal, and let us do an opening so that this presentation, this show, is guided by the hands on the shoulders of all who are listening by way of the ascended masters. I am in me, I am in you, the listening audience, wherever you may be. We thank you for joining us now and in the future. We say, in the spirit of forgiveness, yes, I am forgiving everybody from my past lives. And I ask everybody in my past lives to please forgive me. And most of all, I forgive myself because I don't remember. Put it in our hearts so our hearts be free and light as a feather. We take responsibility and acknowledgement even to that which we have forgotten. I am now turning our awareness into the now and unlimited future possibilities. And with divine grace, we say individually and collectively, yes, I am forgiving everybody in future timeline possibilities, the infinite possibilities. And I ask all future souls to please forgive me. Most of all, I forgive myself. And we ask in the name of love for on this beautiful planet, which has been known to be the banned to Boogie Land planet, the worst in the galaxy. But if you can make your self mastery into love here on this planet hood, you can become a Jedi anywhere in the universe. So we ask for the daily personal coaching of Yeshua, Black Madonna, Mother Mary. We ask for, and I'll post the pictures. This is a Yeshua, according to AI description out of the Bible that we know of. Mother Mary, Black Madonna. We ask Angel of Protection to surround and protect all our family, friends, and loved ones. Archangel Michael. We thank and invite Saint Germain, Ascended Master Gatekeeper of Mount Shasta, Northern California, the entrance into the hollow earth where we exist for over 1,500 years. We don't age. Imagine that, not having no gray hair, no aging symptoms for 1,500 years. Whereas we living here on the earth's surface, it's a whole nother story. We thank and invite the latest Christ born in the Congo, Simeon Toko, Sheikh Amadou Bamba, Melchizedek, Enoch, Ethiopian who ascended into the heavens and became Metatron. We thank and invite Sanat Kumara. We thank and invite Nikolai Tesla. We thank and invite your I am magnificence so that we can make this world a better place. And we thank and invite Lady Buddha, Buddha, Lady Krishna, Krishna. We thank and invite White Buffalo Calf Woman, Quetzalcoatl. We thank and invite Marcus Mosiah Garvey, El Haj Malik El Shabazz. We thank and invite Shroom Master, Dr. Sabi. We thank and invite Master Kalindi Ayi. We thank and invite uh, Geronimo, Nat Turner, John Brown, Mary McLeod Bethune, Harriet Tubman. We thank and invite Chief Geronimo. We thank and invite Sitting Bull, Crazy Horse, all the warriors of love, wisdom, and power who transverse this holographic reality that we call life. We thank and invite for you to be upon this platform and guide the program. And thank you for your small time of living poetry, activism to make this world a better place. We collectively and individually want to acknowledge ascended masters of Atlantis, ascended masters of Lemuria. We thank and invite great divine director, Master Himalaya. We thank and invite ascended masters from beyond our planet, the Dogon star system, ascended masters from Palladian star system, ascended masters to come and take full dominion over the consciousness of the population of the Earth's people, known and unknown, seen and unseen, human and non-human, because we know there's other life forms on the planet. We ask for the golden touch of illumination upon all world leaders, seen and unseen, known and unknown, human and non-human. We ask as Jedi's, children of the One Most High, we ask for divine intervention. South African Zulu shaman to be a part of our show. We thank and invite the Shroom paradigm, the Spore Network of Love Supreme to cascade upon all who are listening to this show. We thank Ilegba, Oshun, Yemaya, Olokun, Shango, Oya to be on this show, Obatala. We thank and invite the presence of Olodumare. We thank and invite Wakantanka. We thank and invite all the yogis serving love supreme. We thank and invite all who have sacrificed their skin suits so we may lift into the song of love. We thank and invite each of our ancestral bloodlines as they are listening to us as we perform on the wooden stage of life. We thank all the grandmothers, grandfathers, aunties, uncles, and we ask that they be protected every day in every way. And we say, Ashe, Aho, Donada, Wado, Amen, Amen. So let it be spoken, so let it be done. All right, first thing I want to bring attention to, because we're going into the season, that many of us, I want to acknowledge first and foremost, Monique Nicholas Bookstore, 50 years of business celebration. And I want to thank Kafunia. I want each of us to be in touch with this amazing edible orgone energy. This is I have found from the testimonies of people who have tried this, and I give samples out, family, on at Nicholas on Sundays, free samples. I am not a salesman for it. I just give out the free powder. This is literally edible orgone that activates your God DNA after repairing and assisting in regeneration of your cells. Now you know I don't push products often at all. I don't even push my products for that matter. But definitely tap into this product here. It's called ysupplement.com. And I dare you, family, I dare you to go read the testimonies of this incredible product. The Y stands for youth. And if you look at the icon, it looks like a crystal. And each of those dots are six-sided like a crystal. You, me, we are the living crystals that we can recharge, regenerate as long as you desire to live in this dominion. Okay? So tap into this Y Power supplement. But before you do, I dare you to read the testimonies because I'm getting calls from people near and far. They're saying this is nothing short of incredible. And you heard it here first on magnets, crystals, pyramids. So without further ado, we're going to bring on our elder genius, published author, world famous brother Lloyd Strayhorn. What's happening, Lloyd? Good to see you, man.
Fine, at least you don't sound too bad like Simon. Simon's just ridiculous. But how are you? I
Yeah.
say.
So I want to thank you, Lloyd, for being on. Thank you for all your service. Family, I've known Lloyd, got to at least be 40 years.
Yeah, it's got to
And
be.
he
It's got to
got to
be.
be, got to be
Got
over 40 years.
easy, easy.
Easy.
And it shows what happens when you build quality relationships like we have.
Yeah.
So it just
Uh,
shows you.
Family, wherever you are, post in the comments what part of the world you're listening from. We got people listening from all over the world, and we got a somewhat of a crisis, family. As far as we've been seduced by so many scare tactics, we've been miseducated, misdirected, and used like a shovel digging into uh, dirt for weight. And I said, Spirit said, you got to do a show about election forecasts. We cannot be bamboozled. We got to get off this emotional ride. We got to develop mental muscle, family. Too many of us have been seduced by um, emotionalism instead of mentalism. To have, as Dr. Professor Leonard Jeffries says, do critical analysis to free the paralysis. Just because something sounds sweet, don't mean it's a treat. All right. Just because it sounds sweet, don't mean it's a treat. And the news media, they don't like us. They don't like you. So be careful about getting your emotional investment in a misdirected energy. So without further ado, Lloyd, however you want to flow with this, man, because I don't know how this is going to work, Lloyd. I'm
Well,
going to make you bigger than me, man. I like doing this as a presenting. I want to move this picture frame from you so people can see your name. Uh, what's going on, Lloyd, with this whole um, hysteria about elections?
I guess there's a whole lot of things going on, drama. Then when you look at the economy and things that are happening and coming down the pike, I guess that's why everybody's concerned. I understand if the economy sinks, Trump wins. If it rises, Harris wins. The last time I was did a very that I really did an analysis in earnest was back in 2007, going into 2008. At
Hmm.
that time, there were three Democratic candidates: Governor Bill Richardson of Mexico,
Hmm.
Hillary Clinton, and Barack Obama. And I says that Barack Obama, in fact, there's a television show I did that documents this. And I said this 18 months before he became president, because 2008 added to a 10, which is a 1. And the only one, Bill Richardson was a Scorpio, Clinton was a Scorpio, but Obama was a Leo. And I said he would also win the election of 2012. So even up to the last day, people would ask me, well, do you still think that Obama's going to win? Yeah, I've been saying that the last 18 months. So why should I change my mind at the last minute? And so I said, after that, I ain't going to guess nothing. What I would like to do is set the conditions of both candidates, and then the person can make their own choice.
Wow, that's genius.
Yeah. So,
I
so
like that.
ladies first. Yeah. Yeah. So it can't be said, well, Lloyd said this, Lloyd said you picked that. And then I got to hear it later. I like sleeping good at night. I've been through this. I've been through enough predictions to last me for a minute, from Super Bowls, surprise fights, you name it.
Oh, that is funny.
Yeah, seriously. Ever since I can remember, people have always asked me to do predictions. And I'm a kind of a quandary, because on one hand, I want this group to win, and then I want that group to win. But the reality is only one going to win.
Yeah.
So, so it's just like this with the election. But I will say this: what are the conditions? So let me start with, as they call it, ladies first. Kamala Harris.
Mm.
She is born on October the 20th of 1964. So when I took the month, the day, and the year she's born and added it down and added to 23, and 2 plus 3 is 5. That would be called the destiny life path birth path number. The way I explain it, it indicates her month, day, and year you're born, says she's in the 5th grade in the school of life. Then let's say we have former President Donald Trump. He is born on June the 14th, 1946. And when I add his numbers down and add it across, it adds to the master number 22, and master numbers 11 and 22 and 33 ideally shouldn't be added. Added together like 2 plus 2 is 4. But it means people who come here with a great mission, a great purpose, a great vision, things of that nature. Both of them are air signs. Kamala is a Libra. Trump is a Gemini. Okay. So what happens is I did an illustration, but I didn't know how to send it to you so people could see visually. So I think one day up the road, I'll have it on my show.
You know what, Lloyd? For a second, what do you see on the bottom of the screen of your StreamYard? Do you see
sharing my stream? It says stop sharing.
It says stop sharing.
Yeah.
Do you have something says settings and then it has a screen says present?
Whoops. Did I lose you?
No, I'm right here.
Okay, I don't know what the heck I did.
I'm right here.
Back.
Okay, don't worry, I can hear you.
Okay, I got you. So let me go to settings.
You see where it says settings? Don't press that button yet. You see what's next to your settings? Does it say to the next square? The next button. What does it say?
Well, this square says camera, audio, virtual background, hotkeys. Then underneath it says camera, FaceTime. Then to the right of it, camera resolutions, high definitions, mirror my camera, touch up my appearance. That's interesting.
Okay. All right. So we'll just wing it because I'm not quite sure how that works anyway.
Me neither. I tried to.
We'll work it. We'll work it out.
But here's the point: that these candidates have key numbers. They also now what can happen is this: if a person can grab a pen and a paper, they can follow along. I had a visual presentation. I just don't know how to upload it. I wasn't able to get in touch with Simon at the same time, but I think I'll have it on my show because they've asked on my show about the predictions. But I didn't want to predict. I just want to show what would be the conditions of things for the both candidates. So let's start with Kamala Harris. She has key was born on October the 20th, are always the 2, the 7, and the 6. Now, what does that mean? That means these numbers are assigned days. Her best days are Mondays and Fridays, okay? And it means her best months are always in the months of March, May, July, and October, her birthday month. On the other hand, she has numbers that challenges her, that stresses her. And those stress numbers are the 9, 4, and 8, which means her stress days are on a Tuesday, a Sunday, and a Saturday. And especially in the months of January, February, April, August, and November. We all have highs and lows, okay? And in fact, October, November, not the best months for the United States anyway. So I don't know how they start the election there, but that's not my business. Anyway, so if I look at Donald Trump, his key numbers are the 5, the 6, and the 9, which means his best days are always on a Wednesday, Friday, and a Tuesday. Now, this man is blessed with 6 months. Most of us got 3 months, maybe 4, maybe 5. 50% of the year matches his numbers. His numbers are in April, May, and June, September, October, and November, the election month, okay? On the reverse side of that coin, his oppositional stress numbers are the 8 and the 3, which means his stress days are on Saturday and Thursday, and his stress months are in January, March, and December. And if you notice, it was in late March that he was convicted of 37 charges here in New York City, okay? So that's it. So that's what I'm seeing from them. Another analysis is this, that when I looked at in my book, my newest book, Lloyd's Book of Numbers, a numerology guide for the 21st century and beyond, on page 255, I list all the presidents by their zodiac sign.
Interesting.
If Kamala Harris was to win, she would become the 5th Aquarian president to win the seat of presidency. Rutherford B. Hayes in 1877 won, the first Libra to become a president. Then Chester Arthur in 1881. Then Dwight Eisenhower in 1953. And finally Jimmy Carter in 1977. So there have been 4. And if she become president, she would be the 5th. Then on the Gemini side, until Trump came along and won in 2017, there were only 2 presidents. The first was John F. Kennedy in 1961 and George Herbert Walker Bush in 1989. And Trump made the 3rd Gemini president in 2017. So if he is to be reelected, he would be somewhat like there's this gentleman who won the election, lost and won it again. I know he was born on March 24th. I'll think of his name in a minute. I got so many facts in my head. But anyway, so there have been more Libra presidents elected into office than Gemini presidents elected into office. So one wanted to go with that. Okay, they certainly can. So on the day of the election, which is very interesting, when I added, because it's going to be on Tuesday, which is more a favorable day for Trump than Kamala Harris, which is one of her stress days. It will be on the 5th, and that is former President Trump's favorable most important number because he's born on the 14th day. 1 + 4 is 5. Not only that, but when I took November the 5th and added it to 2024, it added up to a 6. Well, the numbers they both share is the 6. So that gives it a 50-50. But there's a couple of things happening. November is also Donald Trump's month. The number 5 is his number. And so in that way, the odds would be in that regard. But when I looked at the personal years of them, for example, where did I do this? Yes. In this year, and what I did is I says, okay, well, what personal year is Kamala Harris in for this year? So what I did was I did October the 20th, but instead of adding her year, I substituted and put in this year, 2024. Well, when I took the month, the day, and the year, 2024, added those 3 factors, it added up to a 4 personal year that she's in, which is not one of her best numbers. When I did Donald Trump, June the 16th, 2024, to see what personal year he's been in, he has been in a 1 personal year. Not only that, but Kamala Harris's birthday is coming up next month on the 20th. So therefore, she would be what is called in her 52-day critical cycle. This is the Rosicrucian order. They go from birthday to birthday. So from birthday to birthday, there's 7 phases of 52 days each. So coming back around to the birthday, 52 days before the birthday is called the critical cycle. So with her being entering in the critical cycle, I would say she needs to be more tactful or more aware. I'm sure she's got her handlers or whatever they call that to make sure she says the right thing in the right place and all that stuff. But nonetheless, she is still in her critical cycle. However, in the month of November, a month that normally challenges her, she will be in a 6 personal month that governs Libras. Okay. And on the 5th, she will be in an 11 personal day that matches her number 2 because 1 + 1 is 2. So in that way, it's favorable. Now, in the case of Donald Trump, who will be in a 1 personal year, well, in November, he's in a 3 personal month, which is a very direct opposition number to his number 5. And it will be an 8 universal day. So the 3 and the 8 are his major opposition numbers. So the irony is that on the personal trip, looking at his personal month, personal day, they're both in oppositional to this man. Then if you look at Kamala Harris's on the personal month and personal day, it's more favorable to her. So so I ain't saying, well, this person's gonna win, that person's gonna win. I'm saying, guys, this is the information I'm laying out, and then you can make your own decisions because people are gonna make decisions anyway. No matter what I say, no matter what we say, people are gonna make the decision. But whatever it is, whether Trump wins, whether Harris wins, the country for this year, and I've been saying it since late last year, through this year and next year, this country is going to be very challenged. See, The United States, born on July 14th, has 4 key numbers. Those are the 4, 1, 2, and 7. Yet it has oppositional numbers, which is the 6, 8, and 9. Well, this is the year of the 8, 2024. Next year is the year of the 9, 2025. 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5 is 9. So it's not that I wish any bad will on this country. That's not the point. The point is numbers are numbers, and it makes no difference. And then when I can point out certain things like April and November, especially that's ruled by the number 9, which is challenging coming up. Do you know out of 5 presidents of the United States, 4 of them died in April? The
Wow.
first one was William Henry Harrison, the 9th president. He died in office in April. Then the next one was Abraham Lincoln, the 16th president of the United States, born on February the 12th. He was assassinated in April. Then if you look at, I think Rutherford B. Hayes, no, I think, I'm trying to remember the 4th one, but I know the 5th president, the 5th Aquarian president, well, actually it's the 4th Aquarian president, which is Franklin Delano Roosevelt. He also died in April. But out of the 4 of them, and even then with Ronald Reagan on March the 31st, just one day before April in 1981, there was an attempted assassination on President Reagan's life in front of the Hilton in downtown Washington, D.C. His wife, Nancy Reagan, then hired Kathleen Quinn, an Aries astrologer that made sure that every move he made, every time he traveled, whether it was in the country, outside of the country, she made sure she checked his chart. So out of the 5 Aquarian presidents, he was the only Aquarian president that got out in peace, in one piece of
Wow.
life.
That's very impressive.
They used the stars to guide him. And the stars have always been used. Hitler used it. Napoleon used it. I mean, J.P. Morgan, he used it because Evangeline Adams, a famous Aquarian astrologer of her day, actually used astrology and actually taught him. If you read her biography, The Bowl of Heaven, she described how she came to New York City. Well, she was born in upstate New York, but she came to New York City. And it was actually when astrology was like a heresy in New York, she was the one, when dragged into court, proved it. And the incident was this. They drug her into court. This was back in the early 1900s, okay? And so what happens is the judge gave her the chart of a person to do. She was able to erect the chart in about 15, 20 minutes. She told the judge that whoever this person was, they were a young man and they died by drowning, and it happened to be the judge's son. And that after that, there was no problems with astrology in New York City. So it's
Wow.
very interesting. That's all. So when J.P. Morgan, the famous financier, was asked, well, does astrology make millionaires? He says, no, it makes billionaires because she taught him astrology. He also hired astrologers on his staff. So he died on March the 31st of 2013. All these years later, over 100 years later, don't they still have J.P. Morgan? Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Charles Schwab also used an astrologer. So there's a lot of famous, important, powerful people that use the stars to guide them. They're not going to let you know that because they didn't make best interest, you know? Yeah, well, why do you use astrology? No, that's nobody's business. It's like how much precious metals they got saved up in their stockpile. They ain't going to tell you. So what I'm saying is man, since the beginning of time, have always used the ancient African science of astrology and numerology, because that's exactly where it comes from. And when I say that, Pythagoras is considered the father of numerology. But if you read his background, they will tell you that he went into the land of Egypt to study. And if the logical question follows, well, on what continent is Egypt? There's only one continent I know. That's the African continent.
Right.
So I'm trying to use a little common sense. So people shouldn't get bent out of shape. It ain't that kind of party. It ain't that serious. And what I'm saying, inventions and greatness come from all parts of the world, but the majority of the thing comes out of the motherland of Africa. That's all I'm saying.
I appreciate the way you said that, Lloyd. Family, wherever you're listening from, please post it in the comments so that we can get an overview of the collective consciousness of where part of the world you're listening from, which city, which state, which country, whether it be Caribbean, Europe, Africa, Australia, because we have a global platform. Uh, Mama Ella's trying to get on. She should be on shortly, but Lloyd, I think too many of our family, and I'm speaking at its collective,
Hmm.
they're too emotionally invested in something that we don't have a dog in this fight. I really believe people were dancing in the streets when Obama was elected, but the truth of it, family, these are not the true rulers of this country or this world. It's a facade. The Democrats are on one wing, the Republicans are on another wing, and we are too emotional. I mean, I see some women getting emotionally, really like emotionally stirred, and some men getting emotionally stirred when we talk about politics. Lloyd, have you seen that same phenomenon?
Well, ever since I was a youngster, the thing you don't talk about at the dinner table is religion and politics,
Mm,
because
mm,
they touch nerves. Some people are extremely passionate. Some people are very indifferent. So if you're talking to a person that don't give two kitties, two hootie wops, okay, and if another person at that table is all fired up, hey, yo, what you gonna do? So, but I think it's about shaming tactics. I think it's about putting pressure or putting the guilt complex on it, or shaming tactics, call it what you will. And everybody, this is what I'm saying. So when you ask me to do this, I says, well, I ain't gonna try to predict who's gonna win. I'm just gonna set the conditions of both candidates, and then the person has to decide. Because here's the point: no matter what I say, Hank, people still gonna do what they're gonna do. Period.
right.
If I says, no, man, y'all need to vote for this person, they're gonna say, nah, we're gonna vote for that person. Y'all need to vote for that person, they're gonna say, no, we're gonna vote for this person. So go figure.
Yes.
So everybody has to make their own decision. But whoever is elected, it should then the person, whether male or female in this case, would be to their advantage to really do what is for the benefit of the nation. Now they're talking about the powers that be or things behind the stage, because if they were looking at Biden, and they just found out because of his conditions, he can't find an exit, he stumbles and stuff like that, that who has been making those kind of decisions for him that has affected global policy, global
Yes.
finances, things of that
Yes.
nature. So there are powers that see. Now, so they say this is now a donor election. The election is based upon the number of donors. So yes, they will have you vote, but it's the people that do the purse strings, um, that fund the monies. And it's interesting. Do you know what it takes to be the president of the United States of America? You got to
What?
be at least 35 years old, one, and a U.S. citizen. Ain't say you got to make millions of dollars.
Mm,
That's all you need. I could run for the presidency. You could run for the presidency. If you're 35, and I think we passed 35 a minute ago,
yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
And we are U.S. citizens, which means that we can run. But if you ain't got the cash, if you ain't got the powers behind you, if you ain't got the advertising dollars, the promotional dollars, and so if you notice now, they'll talk about so and so raised this amount. They were talking about Donald Trump's TNS stock, how at first it was like about 20 something million, and now it's done dropped down to kind of like about 20 million or something like that. So all of it is based upon how much money they can raise. And
Mm,
so it's more about me appealing to their donors, who are normally the elite. The average person don't have the kind of money to influence in that way. The only thing we have symbolically is the vote. But even then, there are questions about the voting, which in the case former Trump question. Uh, Now they're even questioning before the election begins in 2 months. Okay, and it hasn't even started. So 2 months from today, because it's September the 5th, 2 months from today will be election day. And so, yes, we will go to the polls. Yes, we will vote. But then I expect to be some haggling, some close calls. But whoever comes out on top, the bottom line, will they be of benefit to this nation? Not be affected by what's going on in other parts of the world or the geopolitics of the world, but what is for the benefit of its U.S. citizens? That's the bottom line. At least that's how I see it. But what do I know?
That's a powerful insight. And also, there's the general vote, and then there's the electoral college.
Yes.
That-
Yes.
Could you tell us what a little bit about that,
Yeah,
Lloyd?
that was the case of 2017.
Because
Where,
that's a whole nother playing field.
yes, Hillary Clinton won the popular vote, but he won the electoral vote. And it's supposed to be predicated upon the popular vote rather than the electoral vote. But that's a perfect example of what you're saying. Because when I said she would probably win, she in fact did win that part of the voting system, but the electoral college decided on something else. So what the whole policy is, I don't know. And forgive me.
No worries, no worries.
Yeah, that's my
You're
granddaughter.
a high demand.
No, my granddaughter, she calls me at a certain time and I gotta tell her.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah. Hold on.
Shout out to the grands,
Hey,
to the
honey,
grandmothers.
thank you. Yeah, good. I think her mom told her I'm doing a show because I sent her her thing in verse. Okay, where am I at? Where are you at?
Electoral college you was talking about. And as a
Yeah.
matter of fact, since your phone rang, let me call up Mama Ella. She's having a problem getting in on the same link.
Okay.
So
Okay.
while you're explaining that, I'm going to mute my mic
Yeah.
and then call her.
Well, I'm not so much a politician
Me
as,
either.
as what this whole thing is. I was just saying by example. So when I did a prediction, that was the last prediction about Trump versus Hillary, and all the conditions was right for her at that point. And so on a technicality, she won the most votes, but she didn't win the electoral college votes. And so the electoral college is a whole nother animal based upon a whole nother voting process, based upon the Secretary of States and some other powers that be, all politicians. It comes up with it. So these are the things that, yes, we go to vote, but at the same time, it's like sometimes it don't always go the way the general masters do it. Okay. So again, I will say this to you. When I did the personal year for Kamala Harris, ladies first, I took October the 20th, and instead of the year she's born, 1964, I substituted and said, okay, what's going on this very year now? So on October the 20th of 2024, she happens to be in a 4 personal year, which is considered one of her opposition numbers. I ain't got nothing to do with this. I mean, that's the math, okay? See, let me tell you this. The beauty of math is it surpasses all emotions. You can be all into your feelings. I could be all upset, but 2 plus 2 is going to be 4 once you settle down and jump off the table, okay? Calm yourself down. 2 plus 2 is going to be 4. So she's on a 4 personal year, which means something restrictive. It also means something dealing with health crisis. So all we know that back in February, for example, back in May, for example, she may have gone through a health crisis. You don't know. I don't know, because I really don't keep up with these individuals like that. I really don't. I'm busy doing something else.
Yeah.
For Donald Trump, when I took the month and day he's born and substituted the year of 1946 and in its place 2024, he happens to be in a 1 personal year, which means a year of new beginnings, a year of new directions, a year of new opportunities. However, when I added his 1 personal year to the 11th calendar month, it's a 12, and 1 plus 2 is 3. That's one of his major opposition number. Because it adds to the 12, it tells me he's going to have to be careful, because if not, see, the 12th card in the tarot deck is called the Hangman, Hank. It is a picture symbol of a man hung upside down by his ankle. It denotes mental suffering and anxiety of mind. That's exactly what that means. I did not write this. All y'all got to do is pick up the weight deck and look at some of the definitions. And it means one who becomes the victim or the sacrifice for the plans and intrigues of others. So it means former President Trump has to be careful going into November election month. That's all it means. Okay. So then when I look at the day three, his personal month added to the fifth calendar day adds up to an eight. So he's going to have two oppositional conditions on the day of that election. Outside of that, November is his month, five is his day. If he had my app, a star eight, ASTAR, the number eight, if he down, it would be a triple green star day for him. Why? Because November is his month, Tuesday is his day, and five is his number. So it will be a triple green star day for him. However, because I'm looking at now what personal cycle he's going through, in that month is a challenge because the three to the negative rules scandals, things of that nature, lawsuits and whatnot. Then and so don't forget that's those on the fifth, no telling what's going to be happening on the first, the second, the third, and the fourth, leading up to the fifth, which is election day. Then on top of that, election day, he'll be in an eight personal day, one of his major opposition numbers. So his month personally will be in opposition. The day of the election, five will be in personal opposition. So then when I swing back, because I don't think people, I'm just picking on the man. Let me take Kamala. So with hers, so since she's in a four personal year, when I add four to the 11th calendar month, that gives me 15, and 15 denotes money, gifts, and favors from others. Now that's exactly what that denotes. Plus six is one of her numbers. Plus six governs her sign of Libra. Okay. Anyway, not only that, but when I add six to the fifth calendar day, that would add six plus five is 11, which is a master number day for her. And 11 adds up to a two, and she's born on the 20th, which is a two. So although on one hand, that's what I'm saying, this is great. That's why I said, man, I ain't gonna get caught up into this. I'm just, this is all, and I'm out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Leave up. Listen, I have enough to deal with without all this thing. Because with people, people get real touchy when it comes to politics, real touchy
Yes.
when it comes to religion. And I've
Right.
learned how to stay out of that. I've been hearing that since I was a kid sitting at the dinner table with family.
And speaking of that, we need, as a people, we need to once again reestablish family bonds, family connections, because family is first before statehood is family, and then community. Like here, the Caribbean Day Parade, Lloyd, five people got shot on the corner.
Wow.
And then we had, somebody came in the building. They were so intoxicated that they came up to the top floor. A stranger, a total stranger, came into the building and fell over the banister down 6 flights of steps. So the EMS had to carry their body out. We are so undisciplined from the lack of love. We have problems of lack of love, lack of worth, and then we use religion, we use politics as a form of get high, and sports as a form of get high to escape reality. Family, you are we as our elders said. It wasn't Leonard Jeffries. It was oh, let me think for a second. One of our elders said, "Nobody likes us. We are considered like the untouchables in the world at this place and time on the planet. The only ones who will care for you is if first you start self-love, self-appreciation, and build, because there's so many young men coming up without fathers."
That is deliberate.
Tell us a little bit about that, Lloyd.
Well, in the days of my parents, and it used to be once they started this whole welfare thing, that in order for the woman of the mother to get the money, there had to be no man in the house. So it was very common for the father or the father of the children to actually hide in the house somewhere or actually be outside of the house. Then it got to the point where then we're told that, okay, you women, y'all don't need no man because we got you. But then the government got our children, which is why many of our young brothers are incarcerated. It far, far more. They found that children without fathers, they have more recidivism in jail, more suicides, more rapes, more anti-social, anti societal behaviors, such as the absence of a father. A father gives direction. And let me tell you this. And when a woman says to me, I don't need no man, I'm trying to figure out through the laws of biology how she got here. Because the only way a woman could get here is through the union of a man and a woman. There is no way around it.
Yes.
We are told now that boys can have girls, which is, brother, that'll never happen. I mean, God has created human beings for millions of years, hundreds of thousands of years, call it what you will. You mean at this late date in the 21st century, he's going to start making mistakes that girls want to be boys and boys want to be girls? Are you serious? Can you believe that? And if that's the case, why haven't you get hormone blockers? Why would you need that if it's natural?
And when the boots hit the dirt, because they look like they're trying to bring forth World War III, family. So all these ladies who want to be independent, they may sign you up during your childbearing years to be a soldier on the front line, expendable to the Chinese, the Russians. There are really years ahead of people's social conditioning. They are preparing, I think, I believe they're preparing for a global um situation, a global conflict. And it doesn't matter. Could you imagine people with their rainbow haircuts, with being put on the front line, whatever you want to call yourself, fluid gender or whatever, they're going to literally put you in the military. And it's like they don't care. They just need bodies with uh,
Well,
bullets and guns. Go
well, you
ahead,
know
Lloyd.
what's interesting? The draft ended 51 years ago in this country. There was a point where you were drafted in the Vietnam, drafted in the Korean War, drafted in the World War I, World War II. But over 51 years ago, they stopped. So now it's more voluntary. But they found that the quality of people enrolling isn't up to snuff, so to speak. A lot of them are overweight or out of shape or obese or medicated through marijuana or other drugs or substances like that. So what I'm saying is that this could be a far better nation too. And it's not that nobody don't like us, and I want to correct us on this one. Let me I want to let you hear this clearly. We are not the most liked people. We are the
Mm,
most envied people. Why does
mm.
this kept? We're the most envied people on the planet. We are the original man. History's on our side. I don't care whether you like it or not. Okay? If truth be told, we are the most dynamic people. We have more. Um, they did this survey about animals have so many chromosomes, Europeans, but we have more than any other ethnic group. Why you think? And don't forget, we were not slaves. We were enslaved. There's a big difference in the words that's being used. And
Yes.
so we built this country. So we have a divine right to be here because we're the original man. And no matter where you go on this, when I went to Hawaii, right, there
Yeah.
was one of my guests, or I was his guest, took me up to the mountains. They had, like, near the volcanoes and stuff. And they had
Donald.
Donald Thomas. That's right.
Yes.
Young
Special
lady.
shout out to Donald Thomas. I met
Yeah.
him years ago.
Yeah. He took me up to near where the volcano was, and they had this kind of like museum display. The original men of Hawaii look just like you and I.
Yes, you're absolutely correct. Special acknowledgement to
Okay.
Duke Kahanamoku. He was
Yeah,
the one who taught Europeans how to do the swim style called crawl. And
yeah,
Duke Kahanamoku was twice as dark as you, Lloyd, and he
yeah,
taught Europeans how to surf.
yeah.
And Kendall Bell, you're not trafficked to this country. You are miseducated. You are the landlord of this country. And that's the biggest misnomer, is thinking most of us are from another country. You even got Africans that say, no, you're not African. You're not African. If you look at your roots, family, your roots from the southern states, Virginia made the law. It's in the books to change the indigenous people of Virginia to Negro and colored. All right. It's in the history. Get off the emotional ride, get off the miseducation of the Negro. Read the book Carter G. Woodson, Miseducation of the Negro.
Yeah.
We have to develop mental muscle. We're way too emotional and way too distracted. We need to cultivate mental muscle to build family, to build community. You're not going to get community and you're not going to get political respect until the family structure is restored. And with that being said, I want to bring on Mama Ella by way of telephone. Mama Ella, welcome to the show.
Yes, greetings, everyone. This is such a lovely discussion. Peace and love to Lloyd Strayhorn.
Thanks, Mama
Peace
Ella.
and love to you. And let me tell you, Kafunia, she sent me a link that she was going to be on Lloyd Strayhorn's show. And when I seen that link, I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna reach out to Lloyd so we can be on the show together." And here we are on Uncle Hakey's show. So everything is in divine alignment, and I'm very happy to be here. I am really trying to get on so that the visual way, but somehow, some way, it's not happening.
That's all right. We could hear. Can you hear her good, Lloyd?
Yes, I hear her very well.
Family, place in the comments if her sound is good quality. But I believe everyone can hear you, Mama Ella.
Great. So yeah, we're discussing this election, the topic of election and politics and things of that nature. And when Hank called me about this, I said, I would get on, but I would like to speak about our individual self. You see, I feel like now more than ever, it's time to elect ourselves. You see, it is now time for the rising of the gods, the rising of the people. This is why you see a lot of people, like the wars, the different wars, the migrant situation. A lot of people are waking up to different things. A lot of people are not even trying to be a part of the election because they all know, like we all know, we're starting to see that it's nothing but a scam, you see. And so, like, now more than ever, because we are entering, or even probably at the beginning of this Aquarian age, it is now time to stand up and elect ourselves, because Aquarius represents the individual ones, the leaders, okay, the trendsetters. So the water barrier, the ones that's bringing information from the spiritual realm to the physical realm. A lot of us are waking up from what no longer serves our purpose. And so, like, when we get into this whole election and, you remember, I don't know if you guys remember that even the governor, he was trying to give out like free, I think it was donuts and stuff like that to go get vaccinated. And so, like, this is the type of stuff that Kamala and all of the Democratic parties and things, they're going to try to, in a sense, like, give people free stuff, because, hey, whenever it's anything free, it's like, oh, yeah, let me go do this. Let me go and basically vote. And so don't feed into that low vibration trap. Nonetheless, it's time to focus on ourselves. And as I'm speaking, Spirit Realm is telling me elect, ion, right? Election, ion. Speaking, which deals with atom, right? Adam, which is us, God. So when we deal with the ions, right? When we elect the ions within ourselves, we will start to stick to the cosmic plan, which is returning of the gods, the returning of the natural ones, ascension. Now you know, because the earth is ascending. We done got the whole reset, right? We got the whole reset, you know, of that whole pandemic thing. So now it's time to elevate ourselves because, again, remember, we are in the Aquarian age, going into or just hit the Aquarian age. So now it's time to rise up, raise up, and elect yourself. I, them, atom, you see. So it's all about positivity, focusing on you, you know, changing your diet, drinking more water, you know, even the young ones, the little babies, that's the you know, even my children age and them, like they themselves are they come here very how can I say, like, very wired. You know, they come here very wired. They have a very great memory of a lot of things. If you teach them right, they would know. And they are the ones that's going to change the world. I'm going to say we have to walk in our God and Goddess, like, in order for us to leave the blueprint for these starseed or rainbow children or crystal beings that is being born.
Yes.
So listen, and then too, the Haitian Revolution started 233 years ago when Pluto was in Uranus, Pluto was in Uranus in January. So it went retrograde to only come back in September. You gotta check the planets. You see, all of this it started. The Haitian Revolution started actually August 22nd. I believe it was 1791, 233 years ago. So they started that uproar 230, and so you see the same cycle happening now.
Wow.
You see
Wow.
the same cycle of people uprising, not, you know, getting upset about, you know, how they're being treated, and they want their position. And this whole Kamala or Allah, and anytime you see the law, right, L-A, that's the feminine aspect of God, right? And so you got to think about it. Everything to me is a setup. So it's like, well, how do you know if they didn't put her to represent, because she has that L-A, you know what I'm saying, that L-A in her name, and Kali, K-A is Ka, right? Ma-La, Kali, to bring about destruction. But in order for you to bring about destruction, you got to give them some sweet things. And so Kali has multiple hands. So it's like, what you want? You want the sweetness or you want the bitterness? So in order for you to give them bitter, you got to give people sweet first.
Wow. Thank you for that. Thank you. And,
absolutely.
And you know, I want to say, family, thank you for being a part of this show. We're coming up on 1 hour, and Lloyd, you're a grandfather that's busy, and Mama Ella, you're a mama that's busy. And I want to thank you for this time, and we're going to bring this to a close. Lloyd, any contacts that you want to share with the audience, please do so.
Well, first of all, thanks to our valued and treasured relationship, we've known each other, and you're right, it's got to be close to 40 years. I was thinking about that. We way past 30. We in 40, something of that nature.
Yeah.
And everything you have given me, I still have in my collection. You would be proud of me. All the things you give me, from magnets to crystals to this to that, I have them all in my home to this day, such as my love and respect for you. My thing is, I want everybody in the sound of our viewership to have love and respect for themselves. I would like everybody to begin to consider us as family, because when stuff hits the fan, and it will hit the fan, if you have this attitude of being by yourself, you're going to be in serious trouble, because a family kind of sticks together. And so we don't have to be blood family, but family in the sense that we're all in the same boat going in the same direction. And if you take that attitude, we will weather the storm. And if this economy is talking about the way it will with the dollar, and the dollar since 1971 has lost 80% of its purchasing power. I was in a store the other day, a supermarket, and one organic lemon was $1.99.
One lemon.
One lemon was $1.99. Yes, sir. And what that means is, as the price is going up, is a reflection of the value of the dollar is going down.
And gold is at 2,500 an ounce right now.
And back in March, it was only 2,200. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So gold is creeping up, silver's creeping up, and so there's a lot of things that we need to be aware of. And so for people who think they can't do without one another, you're the ones that's going to be in serious trouble. And I want to mention this too. Earlier this year, there was some development in another state where there were just single mothers with children. And all of a sudden, the landlord shut that entire building down, shut it down. So imagine all of those women who thought they don't need a man, that they're going to survive off the welfare checks and the supplements and things like that. A lot of people are going to be in for a rude awakening. So I'm just saying, and I said it last year, 8 is one of the stress numbers of this country, as well as the number 9. So things ain't going to be straight until about 2026, 2027. So that's all I'm saying.
Thank you, Lloyd.
It's the numbers. That's all.
Thank you. Mama Ella, any closing words?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yes, I most definitely can. Yeah, so as I mentioned, my closing words to you all is to basically focus on yourself, because with two individual people, you have a whole. So when Lloyd speaks about a woman saying that, oh, I don't need no man, you do. That's the Holy Trinity. That's what they are fearing for. However, a lot of us, both men and females, or man and woman, we have a lot of individual work to do. And some of us do not want to, in a sense, believe that, or we don't want to acknowledge that. And if you don't want to acknowledge that you have to do the self work or the deal with your shadow self, you're going to affect the babies. You're going to affect the generations. The younger you're going to affect the younger generation, and then the younger generation is going to affect their younger generation, and then the cycle continues. So as the earth is ascending, right, we're going into this golden age, of change, rather it's spiritual change, monetary change, and all of that. As we are going into that cycle, it's all about self. And it's not to say that you are being selfish, but it's about knowing. I know. That's the key words of Aquarius is I know. Knowing thyself. In order for you to know thyself, you have to work on thyself. Some people don't even want to change their diet, and their system been telling them, or their spirit been telling them, listen, change your diet. Stop eating this. I don't want that no more. You even ignoring what your higher self is telling you to do. How are you going to ascend during this time of ascension?
I like that.
Not being distracted.
I like that.
I would like to say one thing. Very rarely do I promote myself, but I've done a number of things. So the best way to find out all my exclusive services from my mobile app, what I suggest everybody download, is called a Star 8, ASTAR, the number 8 on the Android platform. Go to Linktree. Let me tell you, Simon has done so much for me, and he told me to establish Linktree. So it's linktr.ee/numbers in you after my best-selling book. So it's linktree/numbers in you. You go get the free monthly newsletter. You can sign on long courses. You can download the app. You can listen to the podcast. There's a whole lot of things. So go to linktree/numbers in you, and my show every Monday and Wednesday, which Hank has been on. And I always try to get on Hank around about his birthday. So that's going to be shortly. is always you go to YouTube, and my YouTube channel is called Numbers in You every Monday, every Wednesday from 7 to 8 p.m.
That's excellent. And my closing words is, as a man who has studied magnetism, has studied electricity, do not let social media miseducate
Wow.
you about the forces of male and female. This
That's right.
red side of the magnet is the masculine side, and this side is the feminine energy. But you cannot create electricity without the woman, and you cannot create electricity without the man.
I
Now,
say
in
on that one.
between the male and the female, the positive and the negative, there's a third force. And that third force is known as love. And that's the energy that's holding the masculine, the feminine together. So we have to break free of the miseducation of what they're doing is for the purpose of depopulation. They're trying to create confusion with the youth that they are one is masculine or keep it basic, family. For you to have electricity in your house and lights and warmth in the winter, you need the masculine, the feminine,
The negative and the
the
positive,
right.
definitely so.
And then there's a third
That's what
force
the
known as
ions is about.
right. You need a third force called love. And that's what's holding between the love between the masculine and the feminine is a third. That is the original trinity, as in behind me is the masculine, the feminine, and the love between the masculine and the feminine. So be mindful, question, as Dick Gregory said to me when I was in my early 20s, question everything.
That's
Question
That is a mark of intelligence. That is
question
a mark of
everything.
intelligence.
Okay, don't become a duck and just quack to the beat of the crowd. Question everything.
Question,
So,
Hank. That the positive and the negative that you just showed us, that
yeah,
round disc, was there connected? I mean, the power was such. Wow, wow. I don't think people realize the how powerful that is.
yeah.
I
This
thought
is
maybe you had a little string holding it between your hands.
no. This is ceramic and neodymium magnets, and I put it together for the purpose of demonstrating the importance of understanding the basic principles, the forces of nature. So that's our bodies is not as solid as we think, family. We are literally
See,
we have the illusion of solidity. This is the magnetism is more real than your body. You're in dream time. Special acknowledgement to Monique from Nicholas Bookstore.
my girl. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
this is acacia wood, and understand if you want to have any form of success, you got to have the feminine energy, the masculine energy, and most important, the love that flows between the masculine and the feminine.
I want to get a set of those. That is so
I wanted to say
on point.
something else too when Lloyd is done.
Yeah,
Go
I'm
ahead.
so sorry. I got excited because I'm saying, "Are the magnets that powerful?" Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's that powerful.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mama Ella.
So at 9 p.m. for those of you that would like to receive mini readings, I'm gonna go live on my YouTube channel. So Hank, I do what is known as sessions with Mama Ella, where people donate. Yeah, they donate. Minimum donation is $20, and you receive a mini reading on live. So that's gonna happen tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, on my YouTube channel, which is Ella Samori. Just wanted to share that for anyone that's interested.
Ella Samori. How you spell the Samori?
It's SAM like mom, ORY.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mama Ella. Thank you, Lloyd.
Absolutely.
Thank you, the listening audience.
Thank you.
Remember to love is the ultimate magnet.
Well, that's a powerful demonstration.
Focus on magnetizing your heart. The most important commodity that we have, family, is our attention, our attention. And people try to take your attention from what is important to exploit your attention. Religions try to absorb your attention. News media try to absorb your attention. Listen to attention, attention. So when you have miseducation from attention, you'll get frozen. So focus on
Understood.
our hearts.
Understood.
Focus on our blood. Say, I forgive all life every day and ask all life to forgive me, because we're going into the season of heart attacks, strokes, uh, people just checking out during their sleep because they're heartbroken. We as a people, we need prayers for each other globally to heal our broken hearts and wounded souls. With that being said, I want to thank you, Lloyd, for being on tonight. I want to thank you, Mama
Thank
Ella.
you. Thank you so much,
Yes,
buddy.
thank you as well.
Thank
And
you.
Mama Ella, you the best. I'll talk to you soon. I'll
Yes,
see you
you're
soon.
the best as
Make
well.
it as
May the
good.
Creator continue to bless everyone on
Thank
this
you.
platform and also the audience as well. Peace.
Peace. And
Peace.
also want to invite y'all back at 9 o'clock because George Love is going to talk about the importance of breathing and
Yeah,
flexibility.
George,
So
I
we're
have
going to have him on at 9 p.m. tonight. So
All right,
until
good.
then, we'll see you at 9 p.m. Thank you, Lloyd. Thank you, Mama Ella.
Bye bye.
See you at 9.